a big living person disappeared into thin air. When Xiaoli was young, he was a bus driver, and the company arranged a dormitory for him. On the day he started his job, he met his good elder brother, Lao Tang, in the same dormitory. Lao Tang was in the logistics maintenance group, while Xiaoli was in the driver group. Lao Tang took care of Xiaoli in every possible way. A few days after joining the company, the team leader, Captain Wu, called everyone from the driver group together. He said he had added a new night bus. This route starts at 11 p.m. He had to drive tonight. From the local paper mill to Tangwaza village, there is only one bus a day. Who would like to take on this job, with a monthly subsidy of 500 yuan? At that time, Xiaoli was still young, willing to stay up late, and wanted to earn this money, so he stepped forward to compete for this good job. After the good thing, he went back to the dormitory and told Lao Tang about it. Upon hearing about this route, Lao Tang's face changed immediately, saying that this route was inauspicious and he should not drive it. He seemed hesitant to speak. But Xiaoli thought, driving, as long as you are careful, what can happen, so he studied this route. That night, the bus set off from the main station. Since this was the first time it was running, few people knew about it, and only a few villagers got on the bus in a scattered manner. Because it was an old-fashioned bus, not like now, with two doors at the front and back. At that time, the bus had only one door in the middle, so there was also a seat next to the co-driver. At that time, an old man was sitting next to the co-driver, asking Xiaoli if he could smoke. When Xiaoli saw that there were no women or children on the bus, he agreed. Along the way, the old man chatted with Xiaoli. The old man seemed very familiar with this road. He would tell Xiaoli that there was a turn ahead, and that they were about to reach the reservoir. Nothing happened along the way. The bus smoothly arrived at the terminal, and after all the passengers got off, Xiaoli planned to return. But at this time, an old lady suddenly came and knocked on the window, startling Xiaoli. Xiaoli asked the old lady if she had forgotten to take something, and he politely opened the door, saying don't worry about taking it. Before getting off the bus with her basket, the old lady told Xiaoli that he was a good young man, but mentally unstable. What were you talking to this empty seat all the way? Xiaoli was confused after hearing this, saying that he was chatting with a rich old man. But the old lady said as she walked away, although she was old and deaf, her eyes were not blind. The seat next to you was always empty. This time, Xiaoli was very confused. He chatted with the old man all the way. What did the old lady mean? He pondered to himself. At midnight, he thought about something in his heart. But the old lady had already left, and it was not easy to catch up and ask. It was already past 1 o'clock when he returned to the dormitory, and his good elder brother, Lao Tang, was still sitting by the window smoking. Xiaoli asked, "Why are you still not asleep at this point?" But Lao Tang said seriously that there was really a problem with that route and suggested that Xiaoli should not drive it anymore. Speaking of the problem with the route, Xiaoli naturally thought of the old lady's words, so he told Lao Tang about his experience just now. As a result, Lao Tang's face changed instantly, saying that the first driver who ran this line 10 years ago drove into the reservoir with a bus full of people, and then the second and third drivers also drove into the reservoir with a bus full of people. In just half a year, 3 buses of people were gone. The most important thing is that before the accidents, all 3 drivers had an old lady who left her vegetable basket in the car. Originally, Xiaoli was frightened by the old lady's words, and the words of his good elder brother made him even more restless. But Lao Tang said he would find a way and Xiaoli didn't have to worry. The sense of security brought by such a good elder brother filled Xiao Li's heart instantly. There was no more talk that night, and Xiao Li tossed and turned. At dawn, Xiao Li found the team leader again. He ran into the office and directly told the team leader that he didn't want to drive this route. The team leader had to ask the reason. Xiao Li repeated what he knew, including his own experience. At first, the captain felt a bit guilty and was a bit scared when he heard Xiao Li's experience. Later, he became curious and asked Xiao Li how he knew about the things 10 years ago, and no one in the company knew anything except him. Xiao Li replied hesitantly that it was Lao Tang who told him. The captain was even more curious, saying that there was no one with the surname Tang in our team. Xiao Li explained that it was Mr. Tang from the maintenance group who told him. When the captain heard this, he immediately slapped Xiao Li and scolded him, saying that Xiao Li was joking with him. Right, Mr. Tang was the first driver. He has been dead for 10 years. Now he sees Xiao Li being forced. If Lao Tang is dead, then who is the brother who has been taking care of himself in every possible way, drinking and talking well in the past few days? Xiao Li hurried back to the dormitory and was stunned on the spot. In the dormitory, the bed that originally belonged to Lao Tang was very clean. There was no trace of a second person living in the dormitory, such as shoes, towels, toothbrushes, etc. Only Xiao Li's. Well, see you next story.